Ludus Vulpes.
Welcome to Ludus Vulpes. My name's Kirsty.
And I'm Phil.
You join us as we run through our initial thoughts and setup of Space Base.
It's an oldie but a goodie, as long as you like mathy games, I would say. But yeah, it's a classic and it's a lot of fun. We play quite a bit of it, yes. Because you can knock a game out very quickly. Mm-hmm. There's a sort of speed variant that gets you through the game a little bit quicker.
Lightning speed.
The lightning speed or light speed round.
Light speed, yeah.
So yeah, Space Base, it's a lot of fun if you play it in the right vein. But we'll talk about that in our final comments at the end of this video. So before we do any of that, let's have a look at setup. And we're going to do specifically the light speed setup. So you'll get to see that one rather than the bog standard setup. Yeah.
Let's go down to the table.
Okay.
Open the box and take out of the box a player board per player. Place the dice in a convenient location so that each player can access. And place cubes representing victory points, income and coins on each of the player boards in the appropriate locations. Supply of power cubes are placed in the centre of the board, and then each player board is filled with the appropriate spaceships of their colour, numbered 1 to 12. The numbers in the top right hand corner of each card in grey, and you'll see the matching locations on the player boards. Once they're dealt, shuffle the level 1 cards well, and in the lightning speed variant, deal 3 cards to each player, and then 6 face-up cards onto the table. This is the market. You'll do the same with the level 2 cards, giving them a good shuffle, but this time in the lightning speed variant, you'll be dealing 2 cards to each player rather than 3. And then 6 face-up cards for the level 2 market, and finally the level 3 cards will be shuffled, and you don't do any of these to the players, you just lay 6 face-up cards on the table. The final thing to set up now is the victory point cards, which you'll place on the table in easy access for all players in numerical order, increasing numerical order. And once this is done, in the lightning speed variant, add 1 income and 15 coins, and you're done.
And there we go. Space Base set up for 2 players and light speed variant. So let's just talk a little bit about how the game works. During the game, you are basically going to be rolling these dice on your turn. You can spend these dice as a combination, 7 or a 5 and a 2. Mm-hmm. And your opponents can also do the same thing. We'll talk about that momentarily. And what you're doing is you're activating the cards that are represented by the dice roll. Fine. And then you're taking either cash at the start or income at the start. Mm-hmm. And then you're spending your cash to buy cards from this pool. Nice. So as you buy a card from the pool, it matches the number at the top. The cost of the card is in the little coins, and you'll remove and replace the card that's already there, placing it under your player board, giving you a reward across the top of your board. And the top of your board in red is going to be triggered on other players' rolls. Blue is on your turns, and there are also pinks that are triggered during turns as well. So different things that happen, so greens that are triggered during turns, like this one for example, can be done on any dice roll. So that's basically the game. The game is a race to 40 points as quickly as you can, and the game should be played quick and with a bit of pacey fun.
Yes.
Are there any fiddly rules to this game? Yes, some of the cards are really fiddly. Keep the rule book in your hand so that people can have a look if they're unsure how certain things work. This symbology for, I just killed my board. This symbology, for example, here means that in a 2 or 3 player game, you need to put a cube in this space as well as the other 2 spaces before you can activate the ability.
Okay.
The light speed variant is quite nice. So in a normal game, you'd be rolling these and slowly building up. And you don't have to spend your gold on each turn, but every time you spend gold, you're going to reduce the cube all the way down to your income. So early on in the game, you're going to be saving up quite a lot if you just play the normal variant. Mm-hmm. The light speed variant gives each player 3 level 1 cards, 2 level 2 cards, and 15 coins to spend
on
those cards to get you started. And the game ends when someone hits 40 points. Mm-hmm. You may go beyond 40 points and everyone will play round to the starting player. so that everyone's had an equal number of turns. So you can actually beat someone who hits 40 points.
Yeah.
The other piece worthy of note is these tiles here. They're quite expensive, and they replace whatever's there. Once they're in, you can't put anything else in place
It's
of
like
them.
an airlock.
It is like a
It's
lock.
locked in.
Now that is how you set up Space Base, like how the rules are working, and yeah, I think it's a pretty straightforward game once you get used to it. Kirsty, what do you think?
So when our good friend Kev, hi Kev, taught us this game, I just instantly didn't not fall in love with it, but I enjoyed it so much I wanted to play it again and again and again. And it definitely has that
One more game vibe.
Yeah, contagious feel to it, where you like, I know I can do a little bit better. I'm just give me a chance, I'll do a bit better. And that is always to me the good sign, a sign of a really good game. The fact that it has the light speed variant is really good, because once people get used to the game and understand, you can skip forward a little bit further with that. Whereas when you're playing with new players, I definitely recommend doing the standard variant, where people learn how to place the cards behind, etc.
It stops players who know the game getting too far ahead before.
Yeah, definitely.
Before the new players catch up.
Yeah. Generally, you can always purchase something on every go. It's very well balanced as a game. There are actually level 1 cards which only cost 1 coin. Generally they're 2s, but they do exist. So you never feel like, oh, I can't buy anything, I've been really badly done to. It's very well balanced as a game. The artwork is obviously, as you can see,
fun.
Really colourful, fun, very cartoony, which is very different for me because I'm not that into that kind of artwork. But anything cosmic, I'm your girl. I love it. I love the colours. I love like anything space orientated, like galactical. Yeah, it's right up my street. So yeah, I really enjoy this game. What do you think, Phil?
So yeah, it's a great game, and it's a lot of fun. It feels quite mathy. It's not really mathy, but it feels like it is. And you're kind of, the game changes with multiple players. So a 2-player game is not that quick in a way. A 3, 4, 5-player game, when you are getting a lot of opposing dice rolls rather than your own dice rolls, means you really want to force things to the top. You want to cycle them back pretty quickly. You want to get 1 to 6 pretty much full and over in both, like even in a 2-player game. Yeah. But actually, in a 3 or 4, 5-player game, you're going to be getting opponent rolls quite a lot, and you want to make sure on opposing rolls you get something every time. Yeah. And in fairness, the player who gets there soonest, so that every time the opponents are rolling, you're getting something, is probably the person who's going to come closest to winning, if they plan for the victory points and pick up some rockets. Yeah. And it's really easy in this game to get distracted by kind of engine building. Oh, can I push my income up? Can I push my coins up? How much can I spend? Yeah. And I often play the game with my opponent's rolls in mind. Kirsty plays the game with like raising her income in mind. Yeah. And what we typically find is, depending on player count, player count, my strategy is probably a little bit better. In a 2-player game, Kirsty's strategy is probably a little bit better. Yeah. But that's fine, and that makes the game interesting as well. There's huge amounts of replayability and variety in the game. There's also a raft of expansions that you can pick up for the game as well. So it's a game that can keep going, and it's a game that will play in with a group of players, even at 4 players. Even with a high player count, it won't take too long to play when people know the game.
It's quick, isn't it?
It can
like be. It just flows nicely. You never feel like, oh, when's it going to be my turn? Because you have that action every go. Oh, did I get that number? What am I going to get?
You're involved. You're always involved.
Exactly. It's got really good player involvement every round.
So that is Space Base. This is a base game. Yes. I'm happy to recommend this game. It's a lot of fun, and honestly, it feels a bit mechanical at times, but that's okay. Sometimes that's okay, as long as it, because it goes quite pacey. The mechanics are they're fine. They don't bother you too much.
Just a little brief shout out to my little space guys. My
Space
nephews.
Guys, really.
My little nephews, Alex and Ethan. Hi.
Hi, guys.
Looking forward to seeing you soon. We'll play this game soon. One day.
Yeah.
One day.
Okay, if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, join the channel and enjoy our fun content.
Don't forget, we're also on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Just search Ludus Vulpes.
Thank you for your time.
See you soon, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.